Greetings, Masters of the Blade, Prodigies of the Force, and Acolytes of our Academy, and welcome back to the Archives. I have been expecting you. I have peered into the Force before your arrival. You have become at the opportune moment. Our researchers have recently excavated an ancient Sith tomb on the planet of Tatooine. Discovering this, we were able to learn a multitude of things about Darth Vader and his imposing dark legacy by uncovering a plethora of scrolls, manuscripts, as well as crumbling stone tablets. We are now 100 years after the events of the Battle of Yavin. This information has been repeatedly restored to the Historical Council of the New Republic. However, before we did this, we took the opportunity to expand on this archives ourselves and explore it. This modern Sith often fell out of the use of Sith artifacts, while the ancient Sith often over-relied on them. Sith like Naga Sadow and Exar Kun accomplished much of their great feats, such as slaying Sith spirits and wrenching fire from the stars, as well as causing entire solar flares, via manipulation of these Sith artifacts. So, my friends, join us as we explore Darth Vader's only Sith artifact and how it was discovered 1,000 years after his death, and how this gauntlet, this glove, was originally held by the leader of the Brotherhood of Darkness 1,000 years before the time of Vader and Sidious. We are going to be speaking about the glove of Darth Vader. The glove of Darth Vader was a Mandalorian cross-gaunt fitted around one of Lord Seer Khan's indestructible Sith amulets. This glove was worn by Seer Khan, the leader of the Brotherhood of Darkness, also known as Lord Khan, who died during the Battle of Ruusan 1,000 years before the Battle of Yavin. The gauntlet was also worn by Darth Vader most prominently upon his right hand. Although both gloves for Darth Vader's armor contain micronized Mandalorian armor as a means to deflect direct hits from blaster bolts, as a feature made redundant due to his force abilities, the glove possessed exclusive features compared to the left glove, including grip augmentation circuitry. During the Battle of Endor, Luke Skywalker severed Vader's hand with his green lightsaber, and the cybernetic appendage was lost down the reactor shaft in the Emperor's throne room aboard the Death Star II. The battle station was destroyed shortly afterwards by Lando Calrissian, who shot a torpedo into the epicenter of the Death Star, causing the whole thing to implode on itself. The glove survived, however, after it was presumed lost, ensnared within a piece of wreckage that landed on the watery world of Dark. It had been pulled through a very wormhole, a spatial fracture in space and time, created by the explosion of hypermatter in the Death Star's core. In 5 ABY, the false prophet of the dark side known as Kadan foretold the chosen galactic empire would present himself bearing the glove of Darth Vader. The former Imperial Grand Moff Betroff Hissa took advantage of this alleged made-up prophecy and used it to proclaim a mutant human known as Tricolus, the new galactic emperor, and Emperor Palpatine instead. Hissa presented Tricolus as the son of late Emperor Palpatine, very similar to how Iraq Ismarin's Mun proclaimed that he was the heir to the Empire as the alleged son of Emperor Palpatine and herself, and that Iraq Ismarin. Similar to this, Tricolus was stated as the son of late Emperor Palpatine at the Cassandra Stadium on Kessel. The Tricolus thereafter embarked upon a mission to recover the glove of Darth Vader. The information of the glove supplies to the false Kadan, and by extension,
Soon after I finish making
supplied by
this video.
Saint Pestage. Although unknown to either party, the motives for Pestage was because Emperor Palpatine had revived himself from his death above Endor, using an extended and experimental clone body. Palpatine managed to learn the ancient art of essence transfer taught by Darth Andedu, and preserved his spirit for eternity. He had planned to use the amulet to quickly amplify his body and restore his powers, as the ordeal had left him weakened due to the fact that his clone body was hardly capable of holding his immense dark side power and its strength within the Force. The gauntlet's value as a symbol was of little use to the three-eyed mutated creature, but its potential for use as a weapon and combat material was considered to be incalculable to modern standards. It was his belief that the glove was actually a mystical relic that gave the wearer the ability to telekinetically attack others from a great distance. Tricolus was ignorant of the fact that this ability was more so an aspect of Darth Vader's own aptitude and latent potential with the Force as the chosen one, Anakin Skywalker, and had little to do with the glove, despite the ancient alchemical rituals that might have been conducted on it. Tricolus recruited an unsuspicious Walzeron hunter named Captain Dunwell to ferry him across the Valley of the Giant Oysters on Dark. He personally donned a submersible wetsuit and retrieved the glove from a wrecked ion deactivator, left over the ruins of the Death Star 2. Rebel Alliance heroes quickly returned, as Admiral Akbar and Luke Skywalker piloted a Calamarian mini-sub into the valley and intercepted Dunwell's ship. Trioculus attempted to use the power of Darth Vader's gloves against Skywalker, but to no avail, as the power that had been invested within it had been gone long before Darth Vader. Skywalker survived the attacks and succeeded in destroying Captain Dunwell's ship, though Trioculus escaped with the glove. He had his technicians outfit the glove with technology that had the capacity to simulate Darth Vader's Force choke ability without Force attunement, but soon abandoned its use after discovering that utilizing it too often resulted in various periods of blindness, as well as withering his hand. Trioculus commanded that his servants create an exact replica of the glove, while the true glove was returned to the false Kadan. It was then taken from his corpse by Akrazel, who then used its power to aid him in slaughtering the true prophets on Botherida. After Akrazel's death, the glove was believed to have fallen into possession of the Dark Lady Lumaya, the first heir to the Sith after Palpatine, who had trained Darth Kaitis, one of the most powerful Sith of all time, in the ways of the dark side. The big merchant Gla Orbuki later claimed to possess a glove worn by Darth Vader, but did not specify that this was the glove itself, this largely being pure speculation on their part. Well, my acolytes, what did you think of this video? This is a rather short video, but I could not ignore the fact to talk about the only Sith artifact that Darth Vader used. Beings like Palpatine and Vader seem to have no reliance on Sith artifacts, as in canon, Vader was granted the helmet of Lord Momin, an ancient Sith Lord from centuries prior. However, he almost immediately forgot about it until the helmet reanimated itself with Momin's spirit and came to life, and promised Vader that he could open an interdimensional gate that would therefore allow him to resurrect Padme, bringing her back from the very ebbings flows of death. In the end, Palpatine had a wide breadth of Sith knowledge. However, he did not rely on it like the ancient Sith did. Canis Mur used ancient artifacts like the Mur Talisman to preserve his spirit for 7,000 years. Similarly, Naga Sadow, widely regarded as one of the most powerful Sith Emperors in history, was capable of wrenching fire from the stars as well as incurring supernovas via the power of the Sith Corsair, another Sith amulet. Moreover, Darth Vader also used one other Sith artifact, this being his meditation chamber, which he took aboard his own personal Star Destroyer, the Executor. This is primarily why he was able to force choke an Imperial officer while they were on a completely different starship, although this isn't to sell Darth Vader short, as he is incredibly formidable in regards to the Force. It was stated that the meditation chamber, no matter what facet you applied it, augmented the Force connection and power 1,000-fold in every direction that anyone who dwelled in it would have. Farewell, my acolytes. I'll see you in a galaxy far, far away. Gather your wits about you, and remember, kneel before the dragon of the Sith, or succumb to the wounds of the darkness.